God on this. Okay, Ravi, welcome back. We want to discuss the issue of digital media getting controlled, especially the internet, the digital media on the internet. Uh, the Supreme Court is asking the government is talking about it. There is a lot of discussion in the air about how to control, rein in the digital media, the social media, and other aspects. So we have the Chinese example. I'm sure India cannot follow the Chinese example. So what you think is the real issue behind this concern to control digital media?
Well, certainly there have been a lot of attempts made in India as well as in other countries to control the digital media, and there have been numerous challenges in court and discussions in both the print media as well as in television and other online media about government attempts to control the media to foment public opinion. But most of these actually have focused on online pornography, where there have been attempts to block access to numerous websites. And several PILs are pending in the Supreme Court about where many petitioners have asked the government and the Department of Telecommunications to block access to certain websites. And there's one famous case going on since 2014, that's Kamlesh Vaswani. And in 2015, they gave a list of 857 pornographic websites to be blocked. And then the government of India first is said in an affidavit that it is not possible for the Department of Telecommunications to block pornography on the internet. Not only was it technically not possible, but it was physically, feasibly not possible, because according to the petitioner himself, there were over 4 crores URLs that they wanted blocked, that there were more than 4 crore websites dealing with Indian pornography, Indian generated pornography, Indian manufactured pornography.
Okay, but websites, the DOT has started doing it, selectively. I'm told, but all this halla I am told is about the OTT platforms which have come up. The platforms like Telegram. I am told a lot of Indian porn material is going into that, and that's the one which is getting governments and a lot of people who are concerned about it, getting worried about it. So can we technologically saying how do we prevent that? OTT platforms like Telegram, can we ban it, or how do we go about it?
See, basically, a lot of these OTT over-the-top applications and messenger services, which can be any of the messenger services like Telegram or WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, a lot of them are used as channels for distributing pornography. Now, in India, the legal position is that downloading of pornography by an adult to view within his private premises is not illegal. And this was clarified by the Chief Justice of India, H.L. Dattu, during the course of a petition, that an adult is free to download pornography for his private viewing in his private premises. But under the Information Technology Act, it is a criminal offense to forward the pornography that you have downloaded, to forward it, to publish it, to transmit it in any manner, or broadcast it in any manner. Therefore, even if the let's say in a Telegram group or a WhatsApp group, the sender has legally sent it. In India, if and an Indian receiver, if he received, let's say, a pornography from outside, from abroad, if he forwards it onwards, it is not illegal for him to receive it and view it in private. But if he forwards it onwards, then it becomes a crime. And moreover, all forms of child pornography or pedophilia are illegal. But I
Yeah,
strongly believe
that's a
that
generic part of it about the
yes.
content. What I am asking is about how do we handle that platforms, OTT platforms? Can Is there any mechanism technologically developed in, let's say, in more conservative countries about it?
Well, basically, there really is no foolproof way to prevent pornography, because anyone who's determined to access pornography can always go through an anonymizer, a virtual private network. They can tunnel through, they can look at mirror sites, they can use peer sharing sites like Tor. There are any number of ways to anonymize
Okay.
your access and to hide your origins of which country you're coming from. There are countries that have done this, like China and the Arab countries and Iran have done this for various types of things where they rely on DNS blocking. But again, there are always easy ways to get around DNS blocking, such as you go through redirecting sites, mirror sites. Many of these sites are cached, where you can look at the history of those sites and see the content. So really, if there's someone who's determined to access pornography, you really cannot control it. And in fact, I don't even think that it is desirable to try to control pornography, because, for instance, India is among the top five consumers of pornography in the world, and in fact, India is also among the top five producers of pornography in the world. And even in the this old petition filed almost 10 years ago in the Supreme Court, the petitioner themselves said that there were 4 crore sites dealing with Indian pornography at that time. And the Department of Telecommunications said it was not neither possible nor was it desirable for them to try to block access to these sites.
Yeah,
What happened?
yeah. So that comes to this question that you are saying that OTT platforms, or technologically, it's an impossible task to control these websites or access to porn. Because technology, OTT platforms arrived, you block the website, OTT platforms arrive, you block OTT platforms, some other means arrive. So this is,
Yeah,
it goes on and on. So, but that comes to the question, how important, or what is the role of porn sites, this proliferation? Is it just human curiosity, or is it a way of making these platforms more, desirable for people?
well, a lot of the pornography is entirely driven by money matters. Pornography is one of the biggest businesses on the web. In fact, and even in India, pornography accounts for about 40% of traffic and 70% of revenues in India are generated by Indian pornography on the internet. And again, I don't think that most types of pornography should be banned at all, except for certain types like pedophilia, which is absolutely wrong, or rape scenes, or scenes glorifying violence and rape and harassment, or scenes that are filmed without knowledge and without consent, such as the hotel staff filming couples in hotel rooms. But otherwise, I think that most types of pornography should be decriminalized and legalized, because I don't know of any conclusive evidence that there is a cause and effect of viewing pornography and then going out and committing rape. There are several anecdotal evidence, but I don't know of any scientifically concluded study which says that viewing pornography leads to rape. Then another point I
You
want to
know that
make is that
we India is also nowadays being called the rape capital of the world. So anything to do with pornography will be seen in that light. So naturally, the internet and the tech platforms become the easy victim of what you call the morality brigade. So how do we go about it? Technologically, technology is evolving to overcome all these things, but there is a constant chase. It's almost like a Tom and Jerry chase which is happening, is it not?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, the ones who want to block access to pornography, they're about a million times or a billion times behind those who are going to advance pornography. And in fact, if you look at it historically, pornography has been a major accelerator of new information media and emerging communications technologies. For instance, right from the invention of the Gutenberg printing press to the invention of photography in the 1840s or to movie films in the early 20th century. It was pornography which drove those markets, the emerging markets, um, by giving a lot of an initial market, a pool of people who are willing to pay high premiums to watch that content. And therefore, by creating that emerging market, pornography actually subsidized all the other more respectable users of books and films and photography. But the initial market kind of corpus
Yeah.
came from the consumers of pornography. And
Just as you were, 20 years back, the World Web, I remember you said that, 60% of the content is dating sites and pornography and all, so that,
yes,
it becomes, the URLs become more popular, people get addicted to internet. That's what happened in terms of development of this technology too, is it not?
oh, absolutely. And in fact, pornography has led to a lot of new technologies being developed, which have had vast uses in medicine,
Oh,
and especially the growth of the internet was because of pornography and a lot of technologies in image processing, digital signal processing, image compression, image processing, which are used in CT scans, the computer aided tomography scans, the MRI, the nuclear magnetic resonance imaging, digital X rays, ultrasounds, all those image processing technologies which are used in medical medicine now to save lives, they all originated from the pornography industry. And in
okay.
several privacy technologies which we are using today,
Yes.
also originated from the because of the pornography industry. And many of the secure electronic payment gateways, also credit card processing,
Yes.
originated from the pornography industry because people wanted to pay by credit cards without getting it back traced back to them. So
Yes.
a lot of commerce is actually, a lot of technological innovation has actually come from the pornography industry,
Okay,
especially in the
it's like
internet.
saying that the space research, has a lot of byproducts than
Yeah,
actual,
absolutely.
benefits of going to the space.
Yeah, absolutely. So pornography has led to a lot of innovation in medical technologies, which are helping to save lives.
Okay.
And there are a lot of other things also. For instance, if you look when the 3G first came in 2001 in Europe and Britain and Germany, 3G was a business failure because the 3G bidders had bid such high spectrum fees in the 3G spectrum auctions. And it was really only pornography that came to their rescue. And some of the largest telecom operators in the world got into the pornography distribution business. And that is why it is jokingly said that 3G stands for girls, gambling, and gaming, because this is what rescued the biggest telecom operators in the world from bankruptcy.
Okay. Okay. So in effect, you any concern about, any discussion about digital control of all these things has to be seen in that perspective, that it is an evolving technology and it cannot actually, be controlled over a period of time, because once you start putting some barriers, the technology helps those people to jump that barrier and go on to a new one.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, there is something called the Barbara Streisand effect, that the more you try to prevent something from getting known or from banning something, the more attention it gets, and actually the more prominent it gets. Something which would be ignored otherwise gets a lot of attention if you try to ban it.
Okay.
And then also any attempts to censor the internet in any way, either technologically or legally, are going to backfire, and they're hardly likely to work, because people can just go through anonymizers, go through VPNs. They can hide their origin. They can tunnel through using peer-to-peer sharing networks through Tor. So if someone wants to access content, there is very little you can do to prevent them from accessing that content.
Okay.
And
So in effect, Ravi, you are saying that it's a losing battle if somebody wants to control the internet or its
oh,
content.
yeah,
And
yeah, absolutely.
and any discussion has, which is within the government or the courts, has to be seen in that perspective. I hope
Yeah,
they take all these
yeah.
things
The
into
government,
consideration before they come to any
yeah,
final
the government can try
conclusion.
banning all the URLs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't ban URLs because they keep changing URLs, and
Yeah,
you
they
can
keep
make it.
redirecting. There are mirror sites. There are, the person whose website you have blocked, he will start another website whose URL is changed by one digit or one
Yeah, they
alphabet,
change the
and
name
he just
and lead everybody to
yeah,
the other side. That keeps happening.
redirect.
So the entire effort is a futile effort if you actually try to control content on the net, on the digital media. So
Oh,
any of this thing has to be seen in that perspective, because technology is an ever evolving arena, and law will take its own time to catch up with it. Is that
yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely. For instance, the Uttarakhand High Court asked the government to why to continue to enforce its order to ban 857 websites.
Yeah,
This happened after one girl in Uttarakhand was raped by her classmates who got the idea from a porn film,
yeah,
and suo moto. And then when it went to the Supreme Court, they found that it was unenforceable. So that order has gone into limbo because it is unenforced. This order of the Uttarakhand High Court is unenforceable.
okay,
And right now, the government has been saying, maintaining that we can try our best to ban pedophilia, but it is not in our interest to try to ban other types of pornography, because you remember the telecom operators and the OTTs, especially the over the top operators, get so much of revenue from pornography and semi pornography types of activities.
yeah, yeah. So it's become a commercial thing. Plus, technology, is supporting it, or the
Yeah,
other way around. So
yeah,
thank you, Ravi, for this enlightenment, and I will continue to discuss other aspects in the next episode. Thank you.
yeah, sure. Okay, thank you.